So telemedicine is a relatively new intervention in the practice of medicine, where you use technology to be able to drive access of medical care to remote locations. And that can take many forms. So one very popular form in places like Kenya is mobile technology, where you have mobile messaging, you have remote monitoring, you have electronic health, which basically involves electronic medical records. And then there's another one in Kenya that's very important that involves educating people through video conferencing. So these are different types of telemedicine, but the key is remote offering of services from one location to another. So for a place like Kenya, where we have a very big challenge in terms of medical workers, we only have about one one doctor, for example, where we have a population of about 10,000. The main thing is that this allows us to be able to take those capabilities and leverage them or expand them to people who need them. So we have a constraint in health workers, but with the few that we have, we can better utilize them through telemedicine or technology. Let me give you a few examples. So I think one that might be very famous is electronic medical records. So patients come in, they're put into a database, and that database can be accessed. Sometimes with the patients themselves, we're moving towards that direction, but often it's accessed by the different health workers who are involved in the care of that patient. Another example, which we talked about, is mobile messaging. So this comes in very handy when you're controlling chronic diseases like tuberculosis, where we found that, for example, SMS messaging to a patient helps them adhere to the drug regimens that they may have to be on. So those are two examples. I'll give you a couple of organizations that are doing this. So we're doing this at Wellness Medical Group, where we are offering services to women through telemedicine, essentially connecting with specialists through video conferencing. But the patient has a clinical officer or a nurse who's accompanying them and doing a lot of the physical exams. So this allows us, again, to access specialists who may be sitting in Upper Hill in our location, which is in Eastlands. AMREF has a very nice platform where they're educating nurses. In fact, they've educated thousands of nurses at this point. And again, that is through video conferencing, where the nurses are in a remote location. AMREF is located here in Nairobi. So those are two examples of how this is working in a very practical way today within our hospitals.